You're watching Mirror 7 News. Stay informed, stay ahead for more news.
At the United Nations General Assembly, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov delivered a strong warning aimed at NATO and the European Union. He stated that while Russia has no intention of attacking European or NATO member states, any aggression against his country would be met with what he called a decisive response. His remarks came after weeks of rising tensions marked by airspace disputes, drone incidents, and ongoing battles in Ukraine. Lavrov's speech was framed as a rebuttal to recent accusations from NATO countries that Russian aircraft and drones have repeatedly violated their airspace. Estonia reported that Russian fighter jets entered its territory, Poland intercepted drones believed to come from across the border, and Denmark was forced to close several airports due to suspicious drone sightings. Moscow, however, has denied responsibility, insisting that either technical malfunctions or Ukrainian interference caused the disturbances. Despite those denials, European leaders see the pattern as deliberate provocation, a way for Russia to test the alliance's readiness. From the podium in New York, Lavrov struck a familiar balance, portraying Russia as under threat, while promising firm retaliation if challenged. Russia has never had and does not have intentions of attacking NATO or EU countries, he said. But aggression against my country will be answered decisively. There should be no doubt about this. His words echoed Russian President Vladimir Putin's frequent message that the West is provoking Moscow into confrontation. The backdrop, of course, is the Ukraine war, now in its third year. Lavrov's speech coincided with reports that Russian forces had seized villages in the Donetsk and Dnipropetrovsk regions, while Ukraine claimed drone strikes against Russian oil facilities. The conflict remains stalemated, yet both sides continue to escalate. Meanwhile, U.S. President Donald Trump has recently shifted his tone, now saying that Ukraine could potentially win back all the territory it has lost since 2014. That was a sharp departure from his earlier stance, when he suggested Kyiv might need to accept territorial concessions. Lavrov, despite criticizing NATO, acknowledged that Moscow still had some hopes for dialogue with Washington. He pointed to the recent U.S.-Russia summit in Alaska as evidence that pragmatic cooperation might still be possible. Beyond Ukraine, Lavrov also addressed the Middle East, condemning both Hamas's October 2023 attack on Israel and the subsequent Israeli offensive in Gaza. He described Israel's actions as unjustifiable, particularly the large-scale killing of civilians. He further warned against moves to annex the West Bank, saying such actions undermined the possibility of a Palestinian state and defied long-standing UN resolutions. Taken together, Lavrov's address painted a picture of Russia positioning itself as both embattled and assertive, under threat from NATO but unwilling to yield, critical of Israel's war in Gaza while presenting itself as a defender of international law, and still leaving the door open for talks with the United States. His warning was clear. Russia does not seek a wider war, but if pushed, it promises to respond with force. Stay subscribed for more videos.